India is the pharmacy of the world. It has the potential to cater to demand of the global populace. Time and again, India has stepped up to help poor countries with medical aid. This time too, India is stepping up to fight the pandemic. India has developed indigenous vaccines that have proven to be on par with Western vaccines. Given India's image as world's pharmacy, Indian vaccines have a powerful role to play in ending the pandemic. However, it seems that this potential of Indian vaccines is a threat for a few global elites. As a result, the World Health Organization, or the WHO, is seemingly trying to hamper the process of granting emergency use authorization to Covaxin. But will India let it slide? Of course not. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Piyush, and in this video I will tell you how India is sending a strong message to the World Health Body for its dilly-dallying attitude as it continues to delay the process of granting emergency use authorization to Covaxin. So let's begin. If a Reuters report is anything to go by, the Indian government has delayed its supply for the COVAX program as the World Health Body continues to delay the process of granting emergency use authorization to Covaxin developed by India's homegrown Hyderabad-based Bharat Biotech. Citing two sources, the report by Reuters stated that WHO could not cut corners to approve domestically developed vaccine. However, by delaying the vaccine supply, India has sent a strong reciprocal message to WHO for its opaque working during the approval process, which has unnecessarily been stretched by months. As reported by TFI, WHO Chief Scientist Dr. Soumya Swaminathan on Sunday took to Twitter to inform that the technical advisory group entrusted with the task of emergency use authorization to Covaxin delayed its meeting and will now be sitting next week to decide the future course of action. It is pertinent to note that WHO and an independent group of experts were scheduled to meet earlier this month to conduct the risk-benefit assessment and come to a final decision whether to grant approval to Covaxin or not. However, akin to the last few months, the global health body continued its dilly-dallying attitude and stalled the meeting. Such has been the racist overtone in denying Covaxin the approval that despite submitting additional information regarding the safety and efficacy of the vaccine, WHO has not been able to arrive at a decision. Earlier this month, WHO had informed about Bharat Biotech submitting the data. Covaxin manufacturer Bharat Biotech has been submitting data to WHO on a rolling basis and submitted additional info at WHO's request on 27 September. WHO experts are currently reviewing this info and it will address all questions raised. WHO assessment will be finalized next week. Moreover, WHO claiming that it cannot cut corners to give authorization to any domestically developed vaccine is sanctimonious hogwash. It is the same WHO which had granted emergency approval to the Chinese vaccine Sinopharm in a record 10 days after holding an ornamental meeting. The decision to approve Sinopharm's vaccine was taken by WHO's technical advisory group, which met on April 26 to review the clinical trial data and manufacturing practices of the vaccine. By May 7, it was announced that Sinopharm will be granted the approval. Compare that to the approval process of Covaxin and one can understand where WHO's allegiance lie. One Twitter user wrote, WHO handed over EUL to Sinopharm within 10 days of meeting despite very low level of confidence against the VOCs in patchy data. EUL awarded based on interim data itself, yet Covaxin, which outperformed others against all variants, needs scrutiny. And before the doomsayers say that India's delay in supply is eventually hurting the poor nations, they should understand that the Modi government in October resumed its flagship Vaccine Maitri initiative to reduce supply inequity in poorer nations. COVAX may be receiving delayed supplies, but the Modi government is directly dealing with smaller, poorer countries and delivering the vaccine. 1 million shots of Covaxin were sent to Iran earlier this month. The Himalayan nation of Nepal has also received a generous tranche of the vaccine. On January 20th, India had started external supplies under Vaccine Maitri in the form of grant in aid and commercial sales. And through COVAX, which is led by Gavi, Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations and WHO, through this initiative, more than 6.63 crore doses were exported. And yet, the WHO is adamant about discriminating against India. The world is desperate to break the duopoly of Pfizer and Moderna, the two mRNA vaccines. Reportedly, the COVID-19 death toll in US this year is poised to surpass the number of fatalities in 2020. The wave fueled by the Delta variant is waning in the US, but daily infections are still hovering near 100,000 and more than 1,800 people are dying every day on an average. The US has only administered mRNA vaccines to its populace. Moreover, the two mRNA vaccines are incredibly expensive, which the poor, underdeveloped nations cannot afford. Covaxin is relatively cheap and does not need the extreme logistical apparatus like the mRNA vaccines to be administered. Moderna costs around $32 to $37 and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin costs merely $3 to $5. When we talk about compatibility, Covaxin is more storage friendly than other vaccines. For instance, Pfizer needs to be kept in extreme cold temperatures of minus 70 degrees Celsius, the cost of which may go into billions. Whereas Covaxin requires only minus 2 to 8 degrees Celsius of cold chain, which is much more viable for warm, developing and underdeveloped nations. Pfizer and Moderna want to expand their market in poor countries. However, allowing Covaxin would dent their plans of market capitalization, and thus the two pharmaceutical companies developing the mRNA vaccines are trying their best not to allow Covaxin to come into the free market. In a battle against an invisible enemy, 1 billionth in size to humans, WHO is still using its platform for political gains of few nations and greedy capitalistic pharma giants. It is a travesty that a noble pursuit like COVAX has to suffer, but the blame has to be squarely coped by no one other than the WHO.